to Team Adams Teaching. Today we're going to be looking at solving word problems with proportions. And so we're going to be looking through here. I have highlighting on here. I don't have a highlighter, so we're going to just do some underlining instead. And so here's how you do this. First step would always be identify the quantities and their units. So if I'm looking for this problem, it says Steve can drive 130 miles in 2 hours. At this rate, how long will it take him to go 390 miles? So I look for all the numbers I need. I need 130, but its units are miles, and that's important. I see the number 2, but its units are hours. Again, these units are going to be very important. And on our last part, the question 390 miles, again, we've got miles there. And then step 2, make a key for yourself so you can identify which numbers or units you're going to put in the numerator and which ones you're going to put in the denominator. And then you have to stick with that. So you make a decision and then you stick with it. There isn't a wrong decision, but as long as you make one, then you have to go with that thing that you chose. So for example, we have units of miles and hours. So I'm going to stick with all my miles numbers will go in the numerator and all my hours numbers will go in the denominator. It's helpful to actually write this while you're writing the proportion as well. And it helps you not make as many mistakes because you'll see the units there and think, oops, that's the wrong spot. Okay, so we're going to use this key here to write a proportion. Our first sentence told us 130 miles in 2 hours. That's going to be our first fraction. I said I'm going to put miles in the numerator, so I'm going to write 130 miles up there in my numerator. And I said hours in the denominator, so I'm going to put my 2 hours right here. Then my second sentence, which is going to be my second fraction, is at this rate, how long will it take him to go 390 miles? The 390 miles, I need to somehow put it into my proportion. But do I put the 390 miles in the numerator or the denominator? Well, because it's miles and we wanted our miles in the numerator, the 390 miles needs to go right here. And then what you'll find at the end is you're always missing one. They give you 3, you find the 4th. So the missing one is here. That's my x. And if you think back to solving proportions, you can use both equivalent fractions. What do you multiply this by to get to here? And then do the same thing here. Or you can do the cross multiply and solve. That's where you multiply these two and set them equal to these two when you multiply. Hence the butterfly method. Isn't it beautiful? Okay. Let's go ahead and just do the butterfly method on this one. So we'll have 130 x when you multiply 130 times x, and then you'll have 390 times 2, and I'm going to use a calculator here for you guys to go ahead and see it. So we have 390 times 2, and we get 780. And then if you remember with a one-step equation, you always find the side with the variable, there it is, and divide by that number that's being multiplied by it. So do the opposite of multiplying, divide. Whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. So now I have 130 divided by 130, that's my 1x. 780 divided by 130 gives you 6. Don't forget your units. Units are always important. We were looking for hours. Remember the bottom was hours, so this is going to be 6 hours. Some of you might have spotted that we could have made an equivalent fraction. 130 times 3 gives us 390. So if we had done 2 times 3, we would have gotten 6. That's the shorter way. All right, another one to try. We've got an amusement park. It costs $7.50 to go on 3 rides. How many rides can you go on if you have $50? Okay, so again, I'm going to underline the numbers I have along with their units. 750 is dollars. And we've got 3 rides, so it's not just 3, it's 3 rides. In my question, I have $50. Okay. So now again, I decide, do I want dollars in the numerator or in the denominator? And then rides has to go in the opposite. Let's see, just for fun, let's put rides in the numerator, rides, which means I'm going to put my money in the denominator. So again, set up my proportion with the numbers they gave me. First sentence, $7.50. I said money's going in the denominator. Put my $7.50 here. And 3 rides, I said 3 goes in the numerator. So I'm going to put those there. And then on my question, it says $50. I already said dollars is going in the bottom down here, the denominator. So I put my 50 there, which means I don't know this one. That's my X. And if you notice the question says how many rides, yeah, that goes up there. So that sounds about right. All right, we can do our cross multiply and solve again, butterfly method. And if we do that, we have $7.50 times X, which is 7.50X. We could leave the 0 off if you want. We also have 3 times 50, which is 150. Down to that one-step equation, we're going to multiply both sides by $7.50. This side you end up with when you divide 1x. And then this side, if you did 150 and divided it by $7.50, you would get 20. And again, remember, this is a word problem looking for units. So in this case, we're looking for the number of rides. So the answer is 20 rides. Okay. I'm going to look at 2 more problems. We're going to set up the proportion only, and then you can always go ahead and solve them again the way we have been doing. I just want to work with a little bit of setting up the proportions. So to start, we're going to take a look right here. And what we have is, boy, I want to cover up this bottom section, but I don't have a blank paper. Okay, so what we have here is a bicyclist rides 18 miles in 2 hours. How far will the bicyclist ride at this speed in 5 hours? Well, again, units, 18 miles, 2 hours, over here, 5 hours. So if I write 18 miles over 2 hours for my first fraction, my second fraction needs to have 5 hours in it. Do I put it in the numerator or the denominator? Aha, hours. I already said that's going to go down here. So that's where my 5 hours goes, which means that my X, the thing I don't know, goes there. And so now I can do my cross multiplying and solving. Same thing for number 4, 4 posters. Ooh, they didn't write the number as a number. They have it in a word form. Oh dear. 4 posters costs $19.20. So I already have my 2 numbers in the first sentence with their units. How many posters can you buy for $48? There's my third number with its unit dollars. And so if I want to go ahead and write a proportion, I'm going to decide, let's put posters in the numerator, money in the denominator on this one. So I have 4 posters over $19.20. That's my first fraction. There goes the motorcycle. And my second fraction is money. So am I going to put that in the numerator or the denominator on this one? Hopefully you can see we have money here. So let's put the money here as well. Meaning that we need to find the number of posters. That's the thing we don't know. That's our X. So again, we would cross multiply and solve and find our answer. Again, using these units, it makes it so you don't put the numbers in the wrong spot. So if you put hours here and then all of a sudden you look up and you said hours up here, oops, that's not consistent. So stay consistent and decide where you're going to put them and then stick with that and then use your butterfly method or equivalent fraction method. And that will be all you need. All right, guys, I'll see you later.